But again, when you look at those 7 games, 6 of those 7 games, the last 6 are all on the road. So
Yeah.
the Lakers they're about to go on a big time road trip. They got Indiana tomorrow at home, but then they go down to Florida for 2 games. Then they go to New York, then to Philly, then to Carolina, then back down to ATL. Then they got Portland at home. They play the Clippers. It's a road game, but it's pretty much the same city. But they are about to go on their biggest road trip. And you got the Brooklyn Nets, who we expect to be in the playoffs or possibly in the finals. We got Miami, who's a playoff team. Charlotte looking good. Atlanta was a playoff team, and Philly. So this is a nice sample size, in my opinion, of competition that the Lakers really need in order for people to take them serious. Like, even though they got the win last night, which was good versus Utah, they need a couple more wins against teams that's playoff caliber. And I think that's one of the reasons why Frank ain't been comfortable and he's on a hot seat right now.
And my thing, he's been on a hot seat because he's not, his adjustments are poor.
Yes.
Because
he doesn't seem to have the heart to make the decisions.
And then when players are doing well, he pulls them. I don't understand that.
Right.
He just started playing Stanley Johnson again. Why Stanley Johnson on the bench? Trevor Ariza's 1 for 8. Why is he getting all these minutes?
Have Stanley, in your opinion, has Stanley deserved, he's on a 10-day contract. Do you think he deserves a guaranteed contract at this point? He had like 10 and 15 points last night, was in the fourth quarter.
Definitely.
He played big.
He brings that energy that you need. He reminds me of the Della Dovas and those type of players. He may not score, but he does other stuff, and he plays that defense, that intensity.
Most
Braun
definitely.
always has somebody like that on his team to run with him, man. You need people like that.
And also, one of the biggest reasons I think that, Frank Vogel, his time has passed, because when you go back to the days of the Indiana Pacers, Frank Vogel has always been a defensive-minded coach, one way or another. And this year, the Lakers' defense have been horrendous. So the thing that Frank Vogel could put his head high on, they're not even producing on that side of the ball or the court. So I just think Frank Vogel just got totally exposed this year, even part of last year. And I think it's time for him to go.
But then, don't get me wrong, I agree it's time for him to go. But then I'll say this for him. Not having Anthony Davis, the anchor of the defense, that kind of affects the game a little bit too. Dwight Howard's he's really not playing like the Dwight Howard that they thought they was going to get.
Right.
DeAndre Jordan is just flat-footed. He's old now. Kent Bazemore, I don't know what they thought he was going to do. None is hurt. A lot of injuries.
Melo.
Yeah, so I understand things happen, but even in the losses, you're supposed to do certain things like, okay, they may be losing, but he's doing his best out there. He's not doing his best, because when he's matching up is wrong. You got LeBron at the center, playing Dwight Howard. That only could work for a short period of time. You can't be running. You're going to kill LeBron having him play center.
And that's the only reason why they've been winning. That's the only reason why they've been winning. You know what I mean? When they brought him back. And like you said, man, the decisions that needed to be made at crucial times, Frank Vogel just seems to not be able to do them, even when the game is out of reach. You got a lot of guys that's past their prime. But even if you're losing, you got to experiment. Like, you got to come up with different things. You got to try some different things. And it just seemed like Frank has just been afraid to try to do different things to help this ball club grow.
You said the right word just now. You said afraid. Because last night was the first time he actually said, all right, Russ, go sit your behind down.
Thank you. And that's why they won.
And that's why that's why they won. When they had when they put what was it, LeBron, Monk, Reeves, Johnson, and I think was Avery Bradley out there. Was that
Yes.
Avery Bradley?
Yes.
That lineup was doing their thing in that fourth quarter, man. They were doing their thing. They the one that brought the team back.
It's the whole Russell Westbrook experiment, man. Him in the fourth quarter is a disaster because he's not the greatest shooter. And he turned the ball over entirely too much.
When he's not on, he's terrible. There's no middle ground with him.
What do you think about the slam dunk?
Yeah, and then the dunk. But that was one of the best dunks of the year right now.
He body bagged Rudy Gobert. I thought that was the best play Russell had in the Lakers uniform since he's been a Laker.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Remind me of OKC Russ.
Ooh, yeah. I don't think, and they talked about that in the post game. Some people don't think that Russ still had that in him. You know, that bounce, that aggression. He was violent going to the basket on Rudy Gobert, man. That was crazy.
Do you notice when you watch the games? I think that's why he misses so many layups. He's thinking too much.
And he's out of control. He jumps too early. He jumps in like in the middle of 2-3 players, and then once he's in the middle of the air, it's like he doesn't know what he wants to do until the last minute. And
I hate when he does that in the air and then try to pass thing.
Yes, it causes too many turnovers because he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing.
But you know what? But don't you know LeBron, don't you notice him and LeBron? Their turnovers have been very, very low the last 4 or 5 games. So the turnovers haven't been killing them. It's just everybody else hasn't been shooting at a higher percentage.
True. That's a fact. They definitely have decreased some, both of those. But again, when you look at the overall body of work, LeBron and Russell Westbrook, I believe those two led the NBA, at least at the beginning, in turnovers. Or if you include last year and this year, both of those guys' turnover rate was kind of ridiculous in my opinion. So they had no choice but to improve on that note.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, especially about LeBron, is like that's what Russell's supposed to come in here and do. LeBron always has the ball in his hand, so he's either trying to score or trying to facilitate. So he's going to have turnovers because he's trying to do everything.
True.
That's why I don't know. I don't know what you feel about this. If they trade Russ, just get it. All you need is a little bit of above average point guard, and they good because that's what he's not even giving you above average point guard play. Imagine if he just got above average point guard play every night. They'd be way better than they are.
Now, when you're talking about point guard play, you're talking about basically being a floor general, like having good assists.
The Rondo factor.
Okay,
Rondo.
Perfect.
We need Rondo.
Rondo got a lot of DMPs going on. Like he's not even playing. That's another.
Oh no. Yeah, not him. We just need somebody like Rondo. We need a point guard like Rondo.
Give me Rondo still. Rondo is not going to turn the ball over like Russell.
He just don't look right anymore.
Who, Rajon?
Yeah, he just don't look right anymore. But he's not there anymore anyway, so
what, they got rid of him?
Yeah, he traded. He traded. He in Cleveland now, I believe.
Oh my.
He's in Cleveland.
I gotta check that out, bro. I gotta check that out. But my thing is just that Anthony Davis, you brought his name up. He's honestly, most people are gonna say Russell has been the biggest disappointment. Anthony Davis to me has been the biggest disappointment this year for the Lakers. I think his injuries and the way he was playing when he was on the court, it just wasn't the same as it was in 2020.
To me, it looked like he was out of shape. He looked out of shape to me.
And he was satisfied with being a champion already. You know, sometimes a person win a title and they just kind of take their foot off the gas, so to speak.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I saw it a
But I
little bit
think,
last year.
but I think now, since he's been sitting on that bench for 3 to 4 weeks now, and he's looking and he's seeing, and you know they all hear what people are saying.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to come back, and he's going to be the difference. Because if he can play like he's a top, even just a top 10 player in the league, it's going to be a problem out here, man. It's going to be a problem.
So interesting, man. What do you think about Kyrie and the Brooklyn Nets? Do you think Brooklyn going to cough up the money? Like they would basically have to spend maybe like $5,000 every home game to allow Kyrie to play home games. Do you think that they're going to go ahead and allow Kyrie to play at home, or do you think Kyrie going to get the vaccine? What you think the story is behind that?
I personally think that it's tough, because if you pay the fine and let Kyrie play, then people are going to start saying, "Oh, so he can play without getting it. He can work. He can go to his job without having it." You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I really don't care, but there's going to be a backlash for it.
Absolutely. But you know what? I'm going to say this. The Brooklyn Nets put their own foot in their mouth, because they wind up running back, begging Kyrie to return. Remember, they didn't want a part-time Kyrie at first. They said if Kyrie wasn't all in, they wasn't going to deal with Kyrie. They basically was going to continue to pay him, but they sent Kyrie home. They didn't want no part-time player. Now that COVID is running through the NBA again, you got all these injuries. You now have KD out for like 4 to 6 weeks. They needed Kyrie now to come back, and now they willing, to appease to Kyrie. So if I was Kyrie Irving, why would I need to take the vaccine or change my stance? Because I didn't run back to Brooklyn looking to play. They came back to me. I'm good.
They came, yeah. That's true.
Do you think, though, bro, at the end of the day, can Brooklyn win the title this year without all three of these guys on the court together? Like, could they still win it some way with Harden and KD, or Kyrie and KD, or Kyrie and Harden? You said no?
No.
I don't see it.
Because now they saying Harden wants to be traded?
Yes. Reports are that he is, open to relocation. So, and I talked about him and Daryl Morey, the relationship that they had back in Houston. I figured that Daryl Morey would have his eye on this whole Kyrie situation, because James Harden's contract is up next year. Kyrie's contract is up. So Brooklyn's opportunity to get the championship, they really only got this one shot left.
Yeah, that's true. But they're going to trade Harden for Ben Simmons?
Straight up, I don't think that that's a good deal. Maybe for Philly.
But for Philly is a great deal.
Yeah, but Brooklyn bringing in Ben Simmons to play with Kevin Durant and Kyrie, I just don't see any success that way.
But look, think about it like this. Ben is the point. Kyrie's a shooter. Durant's a shooter.
Right.
Well, the white boy out there, he's a shooter. All you need Ben Simmons to do is play defense, get rebounds, and pass the ball, and go to the basket. Like, look, he's the prototypical Rondo, but bigger.
And he plays better defense.
And he plays way better defense. Now, I'll be honest with you. I like him better with Ben Simmons. They have enough offense already. How much offense do you really need? No,
you mean Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn. If Ben Simmons went to Brooklyn, they have enough offense. Then you can slide Ben Simmons. How tall is Ben Simmons? 6'9"?
Ben Simmons, I think, is like 6'9", 6'10". But the key with Ben is that he's only like 24, 25 years old. Like, Ben is still young. A lot of people don't realize how young Ben Simmons still, how much basketball he still got left.
Imagine when they go small and they have KD sometime at the center, at his 6'10", 6'11" self. Then you have Ben Simmons at the power forward. Then they still have Aldridge out there. Or you can put Aldridge at the center with
You got Blake out.
With KD at the power forward. You still got Blake. Yo, I'm telling you. They might be better with Ben and getting rid of Harden.
That could work. That could work. Now, the Sacramento Kings, believe it or not, they are in the discussions to try to get Ben Simmons, but they trying to get a package deal. They trying to get Ben and Tobias Harris. Do you think a trade with Buddy Hield? Do you think the Sacramento Kings, do they have? All right, man. Peace to my NBA family. It's your host, Seven Mitchell, with the Best of Seven Sports Talk. I just wanted to take this time out to say thank you to each and every one of you guys for so much support for the podcast. I hope you guys are really enjoying some of the outside the box angles we take, bringing you in these NBA storylines. Please don't forget to like and share. Most importantly, rate the podcast. You can follow us on social media. All the links will be in the description. And if you would like to contribute to the Best of Seven Sports Talk platform, we have merchandise available, as well as links for the merch, and donations will be all in the description. Once again, thank each and every one of you guys in the NBA community for supporting the show. This is Seven Mitchell with the Best of Seven Sports Talk. Let's talk some NBA action. Have anything of significance that Philly would want?
De'Aaron Fox.
And he's you put Fox with Embiid. Does that improve the chance? Because I don't think that Joel has had a proven point guard before in his NBA career.
I think
so.
That pick and roll would be crazy.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. And Joel can pull up in the pocket and shoot. You know, Embiid can shoot from the perimeter.
Remember, Fox is a young dude too. He's not even 25 yet.
Right.
That could work.
Better be pretty interesting.
Because
I do agree.
If you look at Philly, if you look at Philly, what they're missing, they need more offensive punch. So I can see why they trying to maybe get Harden, De'Aaron Fox. Embiid needs some help. I know Tobias Harris he's decent. You know, he all right. But you need somebody that you know is going to give me, all right, if Embiid is putting in 25 and 12 or whatever he's getting, you need somebody to know, all right, I know I'm getting 20 out of him tonight. I got somebody can always get about 20, and on a good night, you can get about 30.
Now, listen to this package deal that the Pistons is trying to put together for Ben Simmons. They're willing to trade Grant, Sadiq Bey, Kelly Olynyk, and a first-round pick for Ben Simmons straight up. Can you see Ben Simmons playing in Detroit?
Yo, if I'm Philly, I would do that in a second. Look how much you get.
Bring those guys over.
Yeah,
and I think you're going to clear your book. But the problem is, Philly still owes Ben Simmons like $170 million over the next 3 years. So that's a big ass contract for somebody to take over, and for nothing. If
Detroit's not willing to take that over,
but that's what I'm saying. If they're willing financially to take it over, when you look at what they have left on their team, how you going to build around that to help the Pistons, make a playoff run? So it's basically they giving away $170 million. I don't see them getting rid of these pieces and draft picks, bringing Ben Simmons over, and thinking that people is going to want to come to Detroit to play with Ben to possibly win a championship. Because that's going to be another issue.
Ain't nobody going to Detroit to play with Ben Simmons.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like it's crazy because that's one thing a lot of people have not talked about because of what happened in the playoffs last year. Like, even if this guy does get a trade or find a new location, how many stars of the NBA is going to want to play with Ben right now? Who feel that Ben mentally is ready to rock? I'm
not even talking about Ben per se. I'm talking about, man, I'm sorry. Detroit is a black hole, man. Nobody wants to go out there. They ain't doing nothing.
Just to play, period. That's a fact. Yeah,
Detroit just to play. That who they picked? Cade Cunningham.
He's not
Hmm.
that guy. He's not that guy, and he's showing immaturity early. Like he just got ejected from the game the other night after he did the reverse dunk and pointed at the opponent and got thrown out.
Hmm.
So
To
he's
be
showing
honest,
a
what
lot.
are you pointing at? I think they only won about 10 games, right? What are you pointing
Yeah,
at? Y'all ain't doing nothing.
crazy, crazy, crazy. That's that. You know how them young boys be, man. That's just the energy that they have. But you got to win games. You got to win games. That's at the end of the day. That's all that matter. So interesting, man. I just wanted to tap in for a few minutes with the people, and I just feel like I'm looking at Frank Vogel. Like I said, we talked about this maybe over a month ago. That I think it's time that Frank Vogel need to be out of the door because he's not making the right decisions. He's not making the tough calls that the Lakers are going to need to round up some wins. He did it last night, and you talked about sit Russell Westbrook ass down for the majority of the fourth quarter. They was able to keep the win. But now
I
they
just
about to
wish
go.
the Lakers would hire Mark Jackson. I'm sorry.
Do you have a problem? Because more than likely, if they get rid of Frank Vogel, more than likely because he's already an assistant coach with the team, you got David Fizdale, who helped coach LeBron and who also used to be the coach of the Knicks. Do you got a problem with Fizdale, taking over the reins as the Lakers coach for at least the rest of the year?
Fizdale's a good assistant.
Mm,
He's a good
mm.
assistant. Okay,
So,
I'm sorry.
so if they get rid of Frank, you still want them to go outside and try to pull Mark Jackson in.
I definitely do.
I
I
mean,
wish the Knicks would hire Mark Jackson, man. I'm a Knicks fan, man, but I roll with Braun, man. I'm a Braun fan, but I
yeah,
roll with Braun.
I got to do a Mitchell report on Mark Jackson. I really got to do a little documentary on the story of Mark Jackson and what happened in Golden State, man, because it just wrecks my brain on why this man has not gotten another opportunity to coach in the NBA, man. It's just no reason. He the one that helped quarterback what we have in Golden State.
Yo, I remember it like it was yesterday when he got fired from Golden State and Steve Kerr took it over. I'm like, really? He put all this together, and now he's out of here just because he
And,
wasn't.
and
I believe he got fired because he wasn't one of those yes men.
absolutely, absolutely. He knew what he was bringing to the table. Mark Jackson had cachet, and Mark Jackson was not going to just allow himself to answer to the everything that the front office was saying. This was
Hmm.
tailor made for her. But I don't know, bro. It just got to be something so deep because, like I said, Mark Jackson has not gotten another opportunity since then. And we done seen the coaching carousel every year in the NBA, man. We losing coaches. So there's just absolutely no reason why Mark Jackson has not gotten another opportunity unless for some reason there's some behind the scenes type of shit.
Lakers shouldn't have let Jason Kidd go. To be honest with you,
Yeah, but in order to keep Jason, they would have had to got rid of Frank Vogel. So you got to blame Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss for that because Jason Kidd, to me, I agree, he should have been the coach from the start, regardless. But once the Lakers won the championship in the bubble, it's hard to get rid of a coach coming off of a title. You understand what I'm saying?
that's
It's like
true.
they
Yeah,
owe they
that's
owe
true.
that to Frank Vogel. But the smart move would have been for them to go ahead, part ways with Frank Vogel, just like they did with Luke Walton, and bring the right person in. They didn't get Ty Lue. I thought they should have got Ty Lue, but they tried to play with Ty Lue. But Frank got it done in 2020. I felt like that championship was basically based off of the loss of Kobe Bryant and the team coming together in the bubble. But Frank got exposed starting last year, and the shit is continuing this year. And I think it's time for him to be gone. I don't think we're gonna get a trade, bro, before that Russell Westbrook is gonna be gone. I just don't see nobody wanting to play with Russ or wanting
You
Russ on
know
their
what?
team.
You know why I feel Frank got exposed? Because last year they had one of the best defenses in the league, which is true.
Yes.
He to me gets exposed even now because he is not good enough offensively to coach your team. He just not.
And he has defensive players and presence on the squad. You got Dwight Howard, who was a 3-time defensive player of the year. You got Avery Bradley, who was a good defender. LeBron James. Now, LeBron can't sit in the chair no more and lock you down. But LeBron is still a good defender. LeBron, still got the chase downs. He has some good pieces or players on that team, but he's just not able to get it right. How much of a
But
loss do you
also,
think Alex Caruso was, them losing Alex Caruso?
oh man, you know how much was the loss was KCP?
Shit, look at Kyle Kuzma. Look at Kuz.
No. Let's not start. Let's not start because I'm sorry to say this. Kyle Kuzma is one of them players that he can go to. He would play well if he was in Orlando, Detroit, Minnesota, any of those type of places. But if you put him in, let him come to the Knicks and see what he do. Prove it to me.
Yeah,
he's not Julius. Look. He's not Julius Randle. Julius Randle was good in LA. Julius Randle was good in New York.
Yeah, he was decent in New Orleans. Didn't he go to the Pelicans or no? Did he? Was he a part of that? Or he went straight to New York? I know. I know Brandon Ingram and them went.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You're absolutely right, though. Kyle Kuzma seemed to be, if he goes to a team that's not a threat, he will definitely show off. That's what he's been doing. But if you put him under them bright lights, then you definitely have a problem. They used to have it. They had it where THT was untouchable. LeBron and them was really liking Tucker. But he's been struggling this year, man. Like, they had an opportunity for a big trade last year, but decided to keep him. I think that kind of backfired because he's not playing good.
And you know what? I had this argument with somebody the other day about Kyle Kuzma because when AD and LeBron got hurt, you was in the starting lineup and you had plenty of opportunity to snatch a role, man.
Yes,
had plenty of opportunity to do what you're doing in Washington right now, and you folded.
That's a fact.
So I don't understand what he's talking like. He's slick out his mouth, talking about he didn't have enough time. He didn't get enough minutes. What are you talking about?
He had ample time. Time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was there with the Lakers before LeBron came.
Exactly. When they made that trade, I was like, I was hoping they kept Brandon Ingram. That's what I wanted them to keep. I didn't want him to keep Kuzma, just to be honest with you. I thought Ingram was better than him anyway.
Oh, absolutely. You mean when they got rid of him for AD?
Yeah.
Oh,
but New Orleans was smart.
If they would have kept Brandon Ingram and still was able to bring AD, like, that would have been crazy.
But think about it. New Orleans saw what we saw. Yeah, I don't want him. We want Ingram.
But see, the Pelicans dropped the ball. They were smart short term, but long term they screwed up because they got rid of Lonzo Ball. Now Lonzo was in Chicago playing his best basketball ever. And New Orleans is struggling, bro. Zion Williamson, like they picked Zion over Ja Morant. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me started.
Zion over RJ Barrett. Let's be honest.
Yes. Even RJ doing this thing in New York, man. So there's plenty of basketball left, bro, but it's just so many storylines and so many, crazy things going on in this first couple months. But I think at the end of the day, man, Frank Vogel, his time is up, yo. His time is definitely up.
I'm telling you, that stretch of games they have coming up, at least the next 6 games, he needs to go 4-2. He has to go 4-2.
If they lose more than 2 games in this road trip, I agree. I think I'll put it like this. If they lose 2 games in a row, he's done. If they go 500 or less, he's done. But if he can come out of this with a winning record, he may be able to save his job. But they're going to have to play some real good basketball, and they don't even have a full team. AD still hurt.
I tell you, they should. All right, the next 2 games, that's 2 wins. They need to beat
It,
Brooklyn. They need to beat Brooklyn, and
there's
they
no
need to
Kevin
beat
Durant. This is
no
4
Kevin
years
Durant.
now. This is 4 years now. We don't have a LeBron KD matchup. It's been
That's
4
crazy.
years since
It's been that
LeBron.
long.
That's super crazy, bro.
It's crazy. It's been that long.
So if it's in Brooklyn, that means there's no Kyrie though. So we'll have no Kyrie and no Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
If they do
That's why I'm
not beat
saying, yeah.
Brooklyn, yeah, you're right. You're right, bro. That's the game to watch for Frank Vogel. That's the one. That's the one.
You know, the
How you
toughest
doing?
game is going to be a Miami game, right?
Yeah, that's the house of horrors for LeBron. LeBron has only won, I think, maybe 2 or 3. LeBron has only won maybe a handful of games in Miami since he left. Like, even though they beat Miami in the finals 2 years ago, that was in the bubble. They didn't actually play in Miami. LeBron, he doesn't have that many wins in Miami since he left to go back to Cleveland. So, yeah, the Heat game is going to be key as well, definitely. I got the Heat in the finals. That's what my prediction was, the Lakers and the Heat to run it back.
I still think the Bucks going to come out of there and win that.
The Bucks look good, bro. You definitely, had some respect on Giannis's name. And he's gained his respect from me. So I like Milwaukee. I like the moves that they making. They didn't get too Hollywood after winning their championship. They still seem like they hungry. So the Bucks is real respectable, no doubt.
I would love to see the Lakers versus the Bucks
In the finals in a 7-game
that.
series.
Yeah, we Lakers in 6. Lakers in 6.
Yeah, give me LeBron and Giannis. That'd be dope. Well, D, I appreciate you, bro. About to get up out of here.
Healthy
man.
AD too. Got to be healthy. Yo, this was fun.
Without AD, bro, they going nowhere. I'm sorry. That's a fact. Appreciate you, bro. I'm about to get up out of here.
No problem.
All righty. Salute. That was my brother Desmond in the building, man. This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk. I'm 7 Mitchell, man. We was live streaming on YouTube, also live streaming on Bigo. So if you guys are on Bigo, man, make sure y'all follow me at 7 Mitchell. But, pretty dope show, very interesting show. Like I said and reported, man, developing story. Frank Vogel is on the hot seat. It looks like we're looking at a day-to-day situation on if the Lakers are going to be keeping him. My brother Dez let us know about this tough road game trip that the Lakers got coming up. That's really going to decide at the end of the day whether Frank Vogel is going to remain the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. So we're going to have to kick back and see. But you guys are now rocking with the best. This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk. About to get up out of here. Hit that like button for the kid. Y'all stay safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.